And now I'm going to move on to making the template for the various opening sizes on the workbench. This is a piece of fall off and the grain is running the wrong way, but it's fine for the template. On the spreader, I want to cut a 6-inch radius to create each end of the openings on the sides and the spreaders. But on the template, I want to grow that by 1/8 of an inch so that when I run my pattern bit, the finished cut will be 6 inches. Recently, I picked up a new jigsaw. This is the Carvex from Festool, and I also picked up the accessory kit. And in the accessory kit, it came with a lot of bases. This is the standard base, and they just snap off and on just by flipping a lever here. And so they have a lot of different feet for different applications and cutting different materials. But you don't need a tool. You can just snap in whichever base you need. In this case, this is the base for the circle cutter. And the circle cutter is just basically a tape measure, a metal rule that snaps on the bottom of this base. And what's nice about this is in a lot of applications, when I'm cutting these bigger holes, I can adjust slightly bigger, slightly larger. This rule will go all the way out to 5 feet, which would be the center point of your cut. So I could cut a 10-foot circle with this rule, and this is a really nice metal rule. It will not stretch when you're pulling on it to make your cut. So it's very precise. And they're nice big numbers, easy to read, so you can put the gauge right where you want it. So I will set it at 78 and then tighten it down. And it's just that easy. Obviously, my center point, I want to be able to pivot around, so they provide this spike. And you drill a hole right at your center point. This would be right where your pilot bit would go if you were using this drill bit. The mandrel, the pilot bit on it would go right at this point. The other thing I need to do is cut a hole to start the blade. And because this area is going to be cut out, I can go ahead and cut a hole over here and not worry about being right on the line. If I were cutting out here in the finish area, I'd have to be a little more careful. Now that I've cut the circles on both ends, all I have to do is connect the dots. And I'll do that with the Festool track saw. This is the largest one I'll need to cut. And what I'll do is, instead of making multiples, I'll just do a portion of the cut, slide it over and do a portion for the shorter. I can use the one, make a continuous cut for the long openings, and then just move it back and forth to make the shorter one, so it'll save a little time that way. So I completed making the spreaders with this template. The sides of the workbench have 2 different size openings. So that means between the spreaders and the sides, I have 3 different size openings. I could make 3 different templates, and it wouldn't take too long to do that. But what I've decided to do instead is just use the same template. And so I'm going to first lay out the openings, and then I will just move the template back and forth. I'll clamp it, do part of the cut, shift it over and do the other part of the cut. So I've got one side cut and I've got to replicate it. Now if I wanted to build a whole bunch of these, then I would just make a template like this, and then I could just clamp it down one time and just make a quick pass on all of these. But I only have to make 2, and so I'm just sticking with the one template. But I'll use this one to make my marks so that they're identical. Because of the technical aspects of this particular bench and fitting so many tools on one, I had to do an offset for the opening. I had to make the bottom a little wider than the top. I'll be concerned about putting the finished side out. At this point, I'll be able to just flip them in for in, so I'll have the unsanded side in, the nice finished side out. I just drilled the holes in all 3 spreaders for the pipes that support the table saw. This way I know they're perfectly aligned.